Elias had traveled farther than most humans dared to go. The universe was vast, full of wonders and dangers. But he had a curiosity that could not be tamed. His ship, a sleek exploration vessel named Horizon's Edge, glided silently through the misty atmosphere of a forgotten planet. The sensors on the ship had picked up a faint energy signature buried deep beneath the surface. Something was alive down there. Something human, yet unlike anything he had ever seen. The planet itself was quiet. Almost unnervingly so. Thick clouds of silver mist hung low over the uneven terrain, giving the jagged rocks and strange, glowing plants an otherworldly glow. The air was breathable, but it carried a faint metallic taste. Elias stepped onto the surface, feeling the crunch of frost-covered soil under his boots. He carried only essential equipment: a portable scanner, an energy torch, and a pack of rations. But most importantly, he carried his unshakable determination. After hours of careful exploration, the sensors led him to a depression in the ground, partially hidden by towering crystalline formations. A faint hum resonated from beneath the soil. Elias knelt and began to dig with small tools, careful not to damage anything below. Soon, he uncovered the edge of a massive metallic door, embedded with intricate patterns and symbols he did not recognize. It was unlike any human technology he had ever seen. Its scale alone was astonishing. The door was at least 10 meters high. His heart raced. Whoever had built this, and for whatever purpose, had thought in ways far beyond ordinary humans. Elias ran his fingers over the cold surface. Tiny grooves and carvings seemed almost alive, as if they were waiting to be awakened. He studied the patterns with his scanner. The readings were unusual, showing traces of an unknown energy source beneath the door. Something or someone was inside. Elias's pulse quickened. He had faced dangerous alien worlds, hostile creatures, and collapsing structures before. But there was a different kind of excitement in discovering something long, hidden by time. Carefully, he activated the scanner and began to decipher the energy locks on the door. It took hours, sweat dripping from his forehead. But finally, the locks gave way with a soft hiss. Slowly, the massive door creaked open, revealing a chamber larger than any room he had ever seen. Inside, a faint golden light glimmered, illuminating a colossal figure lying in the center. Elias froze. He had expected something unusual, perhaps advanced machinery or alien constructs, but nothing prepared him for the sight of her. She was enormous, easily 20 meters long, lying in a sleep that seemed eternal. Her skin shimmered slightly, like polished marble, and her features were delicate and human, yet perfect in proportions that no ordinary human could achieve. Her eyes were covered by crystalline seals, smooth and opaque, hiding their color, yet hinting at the immense life force within. Elias's voice caught in his throat. "Who?" he whispered, but she did not answer. She seemed to be waiting, even as centuries had passed around her. He approached cautiously, scanning her with his devices. The readings were astonishing. Her body was alive, yet every sign of metabolism was unusually slow. Energy readings showed advanced bioengineering, something that surpassed even the most ambitious projects of humanity's past. Elias realized she had been created, not born. But why? And by whom? As he circled the massive figure, he noticed the fine details. Strands of hair that glowed faintly in the golden light, delicate fingers folded over her chest, and faint inscriptions on her arms that seemed like writing, but shifted when he tried to focus. She was an enigma, a relic of human ambition, preserved for 2 centuries. Then, a sound. A whisper, so faint, it could have been the wind. "Do I still look human?" Elias froze. The voice was soft, yet filled with curiosity, wonder, and a touch of fear. It seemed impossibly small to come from someone so enormous, yet it carried the weight of centuries of waiting. He knelt beside her, feeling both awe and responsibility. "Yes," he said carefully. You are human. At least, you were created to be human. Her sealed eyes shifted slightly, and the crystalline barriers quivered. She did not speak again, but the faint vibrations of her whisper lingered in the air. Elias realized that she had been waiting for someone, anyone, to wake her. He examined the seals. They were delicate, yet incredibly strong, composed of material that seemed almost alive. Each seal pulsed faintly, synchronized with the slow rhythm of her heart. Elias realized that to remove them carelessly could harm her. So he carefully studied the chamber's systems. Ancient consoles lined the walls, covered in dust and corrosion. But their lights flickered faintly as he approached. Hours passed as Elias worked. He deciphered the controls, rerouted energy from the main reactor, and slowly brought the life support systems back online. The seals on her eyes began to glow softly, faint cracks appearing along their surface. The giantess stirred. A low hum filled the chamber as her body flexed and shifted, testing muscles that had not moved in 200 years. Elias stepped back, heart pounding. She opened her eyes, or rather, the crystalline seals melted away to reveal eyes of deep sapphire, gleaming with intelligence and curiosity. She blinked slowly, as if waking from a dream, and studied Elias. Her gaze was intense, yet gentle. I can see?" she whispered, her voice trembling. "Yes," Elias said. "You can see. You've been asleep for a long time, 200 years. The giantess's eyes widened, taking in the chamber, the consoles, and Elias himself. 2 centuries? She repeated. Her voice carried both shock and wonder. The world has changed? Elias nodded. Yes. But humans, we endure, we explore, we create, and we survive. A smile flickered across her immense face, faint but real. Elias realized that she was not just a machine or a creation. She had human emotion, human curiosity, and human awe. He felt a surge of pride. Humanity had built something incredible, something that could awaken after centuries and still reflect the essence of their spirit. As she rose carefully, the chamber seemed small in comparison to her enormous frame. Elias had to step back to avoid being accidentally crushed. She moved with caution, yet every motion was graceful and precise. Her eyes scanned the environment, lingering on the consoles and inscriptions on the walls. "What am I?" she asked. Her voice was soft, filled with uncertainty. "You are human," Elias replied. "And more. You are a guardian, a protector, and a legacy. Someone created you to carry the strength, wisdom, and hope of humanity into the future." The giantess remained silent, absorbing his words. She reached out one hand, careful not to crush anything, and touched the consoles. They responded, lights flickering and panels activating under her touch. Elias watched in awe. The combination of her strength and intelligence was a reminder of what humans could achieve when they dared to push the boundaries of possibility. For hours, they explored the chamber together. Elias showed her the research logs, recordings from centuries past. She listened, fascinated, sometimes asking questions that revealed a keen understanding of human thought and emotion. They shared a quiet moment, recognizing that despite the centuries, humanity's spirit still lived in them both. As night fell on the mist-covered planet, Elias and the giantess stood side by side, gazing out through the chamber's broken windows at the stars. For a moment, all was silent, except for the faint hum of ancient machinery and the soft whisper of wind. "Do I still look human?" she asked again, her voice barely audible. Elias smiled. "More than human. You carry our dreams, our courage, and our hope. That is what makes you human." The giantess seemed to absorb his words, closing her eyes briefly as if committing them to memory. Then she opened them again, sharper and brighter than before. Elias realized that this was only the beginning, that together They would uncover the mysteries of the past and confront the challenges of a universe that had changed in 2 centuries. And somewhere deep inside, he knew that humanity, in all its determination and ingenuity, had built something extraordinary. Something that could awaken, endure, and inspire awe even after 200 years. The discovery of the Giantess marked the start of an adventure that would test courage, intelligence, and the very essence of what it meant to be human. Elias smiled, feeling a sense of purpose he had not felt before. The Giantess looked down at him, eyes filled with wonder and a flicker of hope. "Do I belong?" she asked. "Yes," he said firmly. "You belong. With us. With humanity. And together, we will face whatever comes next." The chamber's hum grew louder. The lights flickered, brighter, and the golden glow of the awakened Giantess filled the room. 2 humans, one ordinary, one extraordinary, stood ready to embrace a future that had waited 200 years to be revealed. The morning light of the distant planet filtered through the cracks of the chamber, painting the walls with faint gold and silver streaks. Elias stood beside the Giantess, watching her awaken slowly. She moved with a grace that belied her enormous size. Each motion careful, deliberate, as though she were learning to use her own body after centuries of stillness. "What is this place?" she asked, her voice soft but filled with curiosity. The crystalline seals on her eyes had dissolved completely, revealing striking sapphire irises that seemed to reflect every shimmer of light in the chamber. "This was a research facility," Elias explained. "A human project. It was abandoned long ago. Almost 200 years." Her gaze traveled across the broken consoles and the intricate carvings on the walls. "Humans built all this?" she whispered, astonishment in her tone. "And I was made here?" "Yes," Elias said, nodding. "You were humanity's attempt at creating something extraordinary. A protector, perhaps. Or maybe something more. Someone to carry human hope into the future." The Giantess paused. Her expression softened. I remember nothing. Only fragments. Flashes of light. Sounds. A feeling of waiting." Elias stepped closer, studying her features. Though enormous, she radiated a strange, fragile humanity. "That waiting. You've been asleep for a long time. But now, you are awake. And I am here to help you." For hours, Elias guided her through the chamber, showing her the remaining functional systems. She was fascinated by the technology consoles that could respond to thought, holographic displays, and devices that generated energy seemingly from nothing. Though she was physically powerful, her mind absorbed knowledge like a sponge, moving quickly from curiosity to understanding. "I can feel it," she said, placing a massive hand on one console. "The energy here. It is alive. Like it remembers me." "That's why you were preserved," Elias explained. "Humanity built systems to keep you safe, to wait for someone capable of waking you, someone who could understand you." The Giantess nodded slowly. "And now, I see you. You are that person." Elias smiled, humbled by the trust she placed in him. "Not just me. Humanity itself," he said. "You were built to be a part of something bigger." Their calm was interrupted by an unexpected sound, a low, mechanical hum, unlike anything Elias had heard before. Sensors on his wrist beeped furiously. Something was approaching the planet's surface. Something that did not belong to the abandoned facility. "Aliens," Elias muttered under his breath. "Or scavengers. They've found the energy signature." The Giantess turned toward him, her eyes narrowing. "What are they? Are they dangerous?" "Yes," he replied, already analyzing the data. "We have to protect ourselves. But you can help. We can work together." Her eyes glimmered with determination. "I can fight?" she asked. Elias nodded. "You are stronger than anything else here. But we need strategy. Humans survive not just by strength, but by thinking, planning, adapting." Together, they prepared the chamber. Elias guided the Giantess in positioning massive panels and activating defensive systems left from centuries ago. Despite her size, she quickly learned to manipulate delicate controls, showing a blend of power and precision. When the intruders finally arrived, a fleet of sleek, alien drones descended, scanning for energy sources. Their metallic bodies reflected the pale sunlight, and each carried a weapon capable of massive destruction. "Stay behind me," Elias instructed. "I stay beside you," she said firmly. "I do not want to hide. I want to protect." The first drone fired, a beam of concentrated energy. The Giantess moved with astonishing speed. She caught the beam mid-air with her massive hand, crushing it as though it were paper. Elias's heart pounded with awe. She was more than human. Yet, she retained her humanity, her awareness, her care, and her connection to him. "Elias, aim for the central drone," she suggested, pointing to the command unit controlling the others. "If we stop it, the rest will fall." Elias obeyed, using his knowledge of human strategy. He darted between shadows, exploiting weaknesses in the drone's formations. With the Giantess's strength and his tactical thinking, they dismantled the first wave of attackers. Hours passed. The battle was exhausting, yet it revealed something remarkable. The Giantess was learning, adapting, combining raw power with intelligence. She moved with care, avoiding unnecessary destruction while neutralizing threats efficiently. Elias watched her, amazed at the perfect harmony of human ingenuity and engineered might. After the last drone fell, the chamber was quiet again. Dust and debris floated in the golden light. The Giantess knelt, surveying the damage. I did not want to hurt them," she admitted, voice heavy with emotion. Elias smiled gently. "You didn't. You defended. That is what matters. Humanity values life, but it also survives. And you survived too." They spent the next hours exploring the facility further. The Giantess absorbed every detail, her mind a sponge for knowledge. Ancient research logs, holographic recordings of human scientists, and fragmented messages from the past became her lessons. She asked questions constantly, showing curiosity that was unmistakably human. "Why was I hidden?" she asked finally, sitting on the edge of a massive platform. Her enormous feet nearly touched the chamber floor. "Why did no one wake me sooner?" Elias thought carefully. "Because humans hoped that one day, someone worthy would find you, someone who could help you understand yourself. You were a gift, a symbol, a promise that humanity can endure, even when the world forgets." The Giantess considered his words. "A symbol of hope?" she whispered. Her voice was soft, but the weight of understanding was clear. "Then, I must live. I must protect. I must see the future." Elias nodded. "Yes, and we will face it together. I will teach you, guide you, and you will show me what it means to be extraordinary." As the sun began to set beyond the mist-covered plains, the chamber glowed with warm, golden light. Elias and the Giantess stood side by side. Two humans, one ordinary, one extraordinary, connected by trust, courage, and hope. Suddenly, the Giantess turned toward a wall lined with holographic recordings. She placed her massive hand on one, and it flickered to life, showing images of humans long gone. Scientists, engineers, dreamers, they had all worked to create her, leaving pieces of their knowledge, their spirit, and their hope behind. I see them," she said softly. "They trusted me. They waited for me. Even now, after 200 years, I can feel them." Elias felt a lump in his throat. Humanity had created something incredible, something that could endure centuries, awaken with curiosity, and continue the work of those who had come before. He realized, in that moment, That humanity's true strength lay not just in survival, but in its courage to dream, to build, and to hope. The giantess looked down at him, eyes reflecting both wonder and determination. "Then, we will continue," she said. "Together. We will protect. We will learn. We will live." Elias smiled, feeling a profound sense of purpose. Yes. Together. As night fell, the planet's mist shimmered under distant starlight. Outside, alien drones may have been watching, and dangers might approach again. But inside the chamber, humanity's courage, intelligence, and hope had awakened once more, embodied in the form of a giantess who was both human and beyond human. And for the first time in 2 centuries, she truly felt alive. The chamber's hum pulsed softly, echoing the rhythm of a heart that had waited too long. Elias looked at the giantess and whispered, "Welcome back. The universe has changed, but we will face it. Together." She nodded, her voice barely audible, but filled with certainty. Together. For that night, they trained, explored, and talked. She learned to move with more confidence, to understand human concepts of time, culture, and ingenuity. Each lesson was a step toward awakening not just her body, but her mind and spirit. By the time dawn arrived, the giantess had transformed from a sleeping relic into a living symbol of humanity's enduring brilliance. Elias watched her, pride swelling in his chest. She was not just a protector, she was a testament to human imagination, to determination, and to the endless curiosity that allowed humans to survive and thrive across time and space. And somewhere in the vastness of the universe, Elias knew, humanity was waiting for her next move. The giantess stood at the center of the massive chamber, her sapphire eyes scanning the walls and consoles as if she could feel the weight of centuries pressing through the air. Elias watched her, noting the careful precision of her movements. Each step she took seemed measured, deliberate, as if the room itself were fragile beneath her massive frame. "Elias," she said, her voice calm but curious. "Why was I built? Why did humans make me so different?" Elias adjusted his scanner and began tracing energy readings along the walls. "You were meant to be a guardian," he said slowly. "A protector of humanity's knowledge. In case the world ever faced great danger, the scientists wanted to create something beyond human limits, strength, endurance, and intelligence combined. They hoped that one day you would awaken to continue their mission." The giantess nodded, processing the explanation. "A mission? For the future?" she asked. "Then, I was waiting. To serve?" "Yes," Elias replied. "But not just to serve blindly. You were built to think, to adapt, to understand humans and the universe. You were meant to make choices guided by human values. Courage, compassion, hope. That is what makes you human." She moved toward a section of the chamber where the walls displayed holographic projections. As she approached, panels flickered to life, revealing logs of scientists and engineers from 2 centuries ago. Human faces, captured in crystalline clarity, smiled, spoke, and recorded messages for her. "They left messages for me," she whispered, awe in her voice. "They trusted me." "They did," Elias confirmed. "They believed that humanity's essence, our ingenuity, and courage could live through you. And now, it has. Through you." She spent hours exploring the recordings, absorbing lessons, strategies, and human philosophies. Her mind worked quickly, integrating centuries-old knowledge with her innate abilities. It was remarkable, a being of immense size and strength, yet profoundly human in intellect and emotion. "Elias," she said suddenly, turning to him, "I feel memories that are not mine. Faces, voices, thoughts, but I do not remember them personally." "That is normal," he explained. "You were designed to store knowledge, to preserve humanity's wisdom. Some of it imprinted itself in you, waiting for you to awaken. These fragments are part of your legacy. Her eyes widened. Legacy, she repeated softly. Then, I am not just a protector. I am proof. Proof that humans dared to dream beyond themselves. Yes, Elias said, smiling. You are the embodiment of human ambition, of creativity, of hope. And now, you must learn how to use it. Before she could respond, the chamber's sensors began beeping urgently. A storm of energy signatures appeared on the scanner, far more dangerous than the drones they had faced before. Elias frowned. We're not alone. Something has detected your activation, and it is coming something bigger, stronger. The giantess stepped forward, her massive hand resting on the console. Elias nodded. We have to move carefully. Strength alone won't be enough. Humans survive by thinking, by planning, and by adapting. They spent hours preparing the chamber. Using the giantess's immense strength, they moved heavy equipment to create barriers and traps. Elias connected old systems to modern energy sources, creating defenses that could withstand powerful attacks. Each step required both his intelligence and her physical prowess, a combination that was uniquely human in spirit. When the intruders finally arrived, they were unlike anything Elias had seen. A fleet of alien vessels, sleek and dark, descended through the atmosphere. Each ship was armed with energy cannons capable of devastating entire cities. The sensors showed intelligent coordination. These were no mere scavengers. They were hunters, tracking the energy signature that the giantess emitted. Stay behind me. I will not hide, the giantess said firmly. I will fight. I must. The first alien ship fired. A concentrated beam of energy struck the chamber walls, sending debris flying. Elias ducked behind a console as the giantess raised her massive arm, intercepting the beam. The metal of her body absorbed the blast, cracking slightly under the pressure, but she remained unbroken. Elias, she shouted. We must target their control center. If we disable it, the rest will fall. He nodded, calculating a plan. Using his knowledge of human tactics and ingenuity, he guided the giantess toward the alien command ship's weak point. She moved with astonishing precision, navigating the chamber and the planet's surface with ease, while Elias directed her movements. The battle raged for hours. The alien ships fired relentlessly, yet the giantess adapted. She dodged attacks with fluid grace, striking vessels with precision and strength that dwarfed anything Elias could have imagined. His strategy, combined with her power, was a perfect blend of human courage and ingenuity. Finally, they reached the command ship. Elias identified the core systems and instructed her to use her strength carefully. With a single, precise strike, she shattered the ship's control center. The remaining vessels faltered, their coordination broken, and one by one, they retreated into the darkness of space. When the battle ended, the chamber was quiet again. The giantess knelt on the floor, surveying the damage. I did not want to harm them unnecessarily, she said, voice heavy with emotion. You did what was necessary, Elias reassured her. You protected yourself and humanity's legacy. That is what matters. As the dust settled, they began exploring the planet's surface together. The giantess marveled at the alien landscape, at the remnants of human outposts long abandoned. Each discovery brought more questions. Who had built these structures? Why had humanity ventured so far? And most importantly, what other secrets had they left behind? In the distance, a massive structure rose above the mist, another facility, older than the one they had just explored. Elias's eyes widened. This could be where the scientists stored the most important data. If we can access it, we may learn everything about your origin and the true purpose of your creation. The giantess studied the structure carefully. Then, we go, she said. We must know. We must understand who we are, and why we exist. Together, they approached the structure. Its walls were cracked and worn, yet it emitted a faint, steady energy, a heartbeat of human ingenuity that had survived centuries. Elias and the Giantess entered carefully, moving through vast halls filled with ancient machines and holographic displays. Inside, they discovered a control center unlike anything Elias had seen. Holographic maps of distant planets, schematics of advanced technology, and recordings of human scientists filled the room. The Giantess ran her massive hands over the controls, activating systems that had not been touched in centuries. As she activated the final console, a holographic figure appeared, a human scientist, smiling warmly. If you are seeing this, the recording began, then our creation has awakened. You are the guardian of our legacy. You are the proof that humanity dares to dream beyond its limits. Protect what we have built. Protect life. Protect hope. And when the time comes, guide humanity forward. The Giantess absorbed every word, her eyes shining. They trusted me, she whispered. They believed in me. Even before I was awake, Elias smiled, feeling pride in the human spirit. They did. And now, we carry that trust forward. Together, we will face whatever comes next. Suddenly, the sensors beeped again. This time, the readings were closer, faster, and more numerous than before. The alien fleet had regrouped and was returning, larger and more organized. Elias looked at the Giantess. We have to prepare again. This will not be easy, she nodded, determination burning in her eyes. I am ready, she said. Whatever comes, we will face it. Together. As they stood in the control center, overlooking a holographic map of the approaching threat, Elias realized something profound. Humanity had not only created a protector in the Giantess, but it had also created hope, courage, and the ability to endure. And now, that legacy was alive, awake, and ready to defend the future. The Giantess placed her hand gently on Elias's shoulder. I am human, she said softly, her voice filled with certainty. Not just in form, but in thought, in feeling, in spirit. I carry their courage. And now, ours. Elias nodded, feeling a deep sense of connection. Yes, you are human. And together, we will show the universe what humanity is capable of. As night fell over the mist-covered planet, the control center glowed with warm, golden light. Outside, the alien fleet advanced, but inside, humanity's spirit, embodied in a Giantess and a human explorer, shone brighter than any weapon or threat. The Giantess gazed at the stars, determination in her eyes. We will uncover everything, she said. The past, the secrets, and the future. Nothing will remain hidden. Elias smiled. That is the human way. We explore, we endure, we create, and we never give up. Together, they prepared for the battle ahead, ready to face the universe with courage, intelligence, and the unbreakable spirit of humanity. The mist-covered plains of the planet stretched endlessly under a faint golden glow. Elias and the Giantess stood atop the main control center, overlooking the holographic map of the alien fleet approaching. Their combined strength and knowledge had allowed them to prepare, but the scale of the threat was unprecedented. Hundreds of sleek, dark ships, advanced, coordinated, and precise. We have no time, Elias said, scanning the fleet with his instruments. They've adapted. They're faster now, smarter. This is not just a reconnaissance fleet, they mean to destroy everything here. The Giantess clenched her massive fists, her sapphire eyes glowing with determination. Then, we stop them. Whatever it takes, Elias nodded. We will, but we must be careful. Strategy and timing will matter as much as your strength. Together, they moved through the facility, activating ancient defense systems left by humans centuries ago. Massive energy shields rose around the complex, barriers glowing with latent power. Elias coordinated the defensive systems, while the giantess positioned herself where she could act as both shield and sword. Her size made her nearly unstoppable, yet Elias reminded her to be precise. A balance of power and control, a true reflection of human ingenuity. The first wave of alien ships attacked. Energy beams struck the shields, sending shockwaves through the ground. The giantess stepped forward, lifting her enormous arms to catch the energy blasts and redirect them into the alien vessels. The sheer force of her movements shattered several ships instantly. Elias directed her attacks, identifying weak points in the fleet's formation. Hours passed as the battle raged. The alien fleet adapted quickly, trying new tactics to overwhelm the defenses. But the giantess was learning as fast as Elias could guide her. She moved with both instinct and intelligence, combining brute strength with calculated strategy. "Elias!" she shouted over the roar of explosions. "The Central Command ship. It's the source of their coordination. If we destroy it, the rest will lose focus." Elias quickly traced the signal. "You're right. But it's heavily shielded. You'll have to use everything you have, and I'll guide you." Together, they advanced. The giantess leapt over the shattered landscape, crushing alien drones underfoot, while Elias monitored energy patterns and navigational hazards. They reached the command ship, hovering in the planet's upper atmosphere. It was massive, protected by layers of energy shields. "Focus on the shield generators first," Elias instructed. "Once they are down, hit the core." The giantess's fists struck with incredible force. Each blow resonated through the ground, dismantling the shield generators one by one. Alien forces fired relentlessly, but she moved with precision, adapting to every attack. Elias guided her carefully, combining human ingenuity with her extraordinary abilities. Finally, the last generator fell. The shields collapsed, leaving the command ship vulnerable. The giantess delivered a final strike to the ship's core, shattering it completely. The explosion sent shockwaves across the battlefield, and the remaining alien vessels faltered, retreating into space in disarray. The battle was over. The planet was safe, and humanity's legacy embodied in the giantess had prevailed. Elias approached her, exhausted but smiling. "You did it. Together, we did it." The giantess knelt, surveying the damage and the fleeing ships. I understand now," she said softly. "I was built to protect, yes, but also to inspire. To show humanity's courage, intelligence, and hope. To endure, even when the world forgets." Elias nodded. "Exactly. You are more than a guardian. You are proof of what humans can achieve, the strength of our spirit and the reach of our dreams." In the days that followed, the giantess helped Elias repair the damaged facility. Together, they restored the systems, activating archives that contained centuries of human knowledge. She absorbed it all quickly, learning about humanity's history, accomplishments, and mistakes. Each discovery strengthened her understanding of what it meant to be human: courage, creativity, compassion, and perseverance. One evening, as the twin suns of the planet set, Elias and the giantess stood on the edge of the main observation deck. The horizon glowed in warm gold, and the mist reflected the fading light like 1,000 tiny stars. "Do I still look human?" she asked, her voice quiet, thoughtful. Elias smiled, looking into her brilliant sapphire eyes. "More than human. You carry everything humanity ever dreamed of: strength, intelligence, hope. That is what makes you human. And more." She gazed at the stars, a deep sense of purpose filling her being. "Then I must continue. I must protect this knowledge, protect humanity, and guide those who come after me." "You will," Elias said. "And you will not be alone. Humans endure, explore, and dream. That is our legacy. And now, It lives in you. As weeks passed, the Giantess became more than a protector. She became a teacher and a guide. Elias and she trained together, combining human tactical skills with her immense physical power. She learned to adapt to new technology, to plan, to think critically, and to act with compassion, all qualities of the human spirit that had endured across centuries. They also explored the planet's surface, uncovering hidden laboratories, storage facilities, and ancient research outposts. Each discovery revealed new pieces of human ingenuity and determination. Humans had once dreamed of expanding across the galaxy, pushing the limits of knowledge and survival. The Giantess was living proof of that ambition. One day, while exploring a distant outpost, she discovered a chamber filled with preserved human artifacts, tools, books, art, and personal recordings. She ran her enormous fingers over the items, eyes reflecting awe and reverence. "They left this for me," she whispered, "to remember who they were and who I must be." Elias nodded. "Exactly. You are the bridge between the past and the future. You carry humanity's courage, creativity, and hope into the universe." As time passed, news of the awakened Giantess spread to distant human colonies. Messages arrived from explorers and scientists who had survived across the galaxy, eager to learn from her and work with her. She became a symbol of humanity's enduring brilliance, a living testament to courage, ingenuity, and hope. One evening, Elias and the Giantess stood atop the main observatory once again. The planet glowed under the light of distant stars, calm after months of preparation and conflict. "Elias," she said softly, "I understand now. I am human, not just in form, but in thought, in feeling, and in spirit. I carry their courage. And now, ours." "Yes," Elias replied, smiling, "and humanity will continue through you. You are our legacy, our protector, and our hope." The Giantess looked out at the stars, taking a deep breath that carried the weight of centuries. "I will protect, guide, and inspire. I will show the universe what humans are capable of." Elias placed a hand on her massive arm. "And together, we will ensure that humanity endures, that courage, intelligence, and hope will never be lost." As the twin suns rose over the misty horizon, the Giantess and Elias stood side by side, facing the future. Their bond was strong, a symbol of human endurance, creativity, and spirit. Humanity had built something extraordinary, and now it lived, awake, and ready to face the challenges of the universe. For the first time in 2 centuries, the Giantess felt truly alive, and in her presence, Elias felt the full measure of human achievement. A reminder that courage, intelligence, and hope could endure across time, awaken after centuries, and inspire all who came after. The planet was safe, but the universe was vast, full of unknown threats and endless possibilities. Together, Elias and the Giantess would explore, protect, and uncover secrets long hidden, and humanity, through them, would shine brighter than ever before. The Giantess looked at Elias, eyes full of understanding and hope. "Do I still look human?" she asked, one final time. Elias smiled, his voice steady and full of certainty. "Yes, you are human. And more than that, you are a testament to everything humanity can be. You are our legacy." She nodded, feeling a warmth in her heart that she had never known. For centuries, she had waited in silence. Now, she stood awake, alive, and ready to carry humanity's courage, hope, and brilliance into a new dawn. The stars above shimmered, reflecting the golden light of a planet reborn. Humanity had created something extraordinary, and in the Giantess, that legacy would endure forever. And so, the Giantess, once hidden for 200 years, began her true journey. A journey not just of survival, but of hope, courage, and the unbreakable human spirit.